Hey everybody, welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I'm Brenda, Jim's wife, and I'm here today waiting for Ken and Baron to come on out. Jim's going to drive them around today. We took them out yesterday. Wasn't completely thrilled with Baron's behavior yesterday, so he's going to try it again today.
Oh. Okay. Yep.
Getting the neck yoke all hitched up.
Yep. Get in. Get in. Get in. Oh. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In there. So yesterday, like I said earlier, I had swung them around 2 or 3 times, 3 or 4 times before Baron stood long enough to get hitched up, and you can see even now he's got his butt hanging on that tug. But that's what happens when you give him a bunch of time off. Baron, be good. Without working. Studs tend to bite other horses. Ho, ho, ho. So I'm gonna take them around the field, and then I'm going to tie him right to this truck body, and in such a way that he cannot bite Ken, and so that he'll learn to stand properly. See how he's standing? He's going to even fall down on me, I think. But those are things you got to teach him. Anyways, I'll be back in a bit. Cuffed up.
Ken's probably saying, I'll get you later when we're out to pasture. Here they come.
Oh. No.
How'd they do?
Oh.
Good.
Okay, second time around, the horses did great. So now what I like to do is leave the horses. Of course, I did earlier too. They just stand here. Spend a lot of time just parked here. And Brenda and I are going to take Earl now and drive him around the driveway. Okay, so once again, this is a learning time for Duke. He's had this harness on for quite some time now, so he's just getting used to having that harness on his body. So now we'll pull it off and throw it on Earl and drive him around just a little bit. Okay.
It really didn't seem like it bothered him at all.
Nope. Can you hold that, please? So being this harness is kind of long, especially for him. He's a little bit smaller than Earl. So I'm going to just slide up on his back, unhitch his hames, throw his harness up on his back and take its collar off. Okay. Then I can take the collar, throw it on Earl, and then come back and take the harness right off Duke and put it directly on Earl.
Gotta carry each other's clothes.
Yep. So this harness will be specifically for these two.
He's trying to bite the camera. Oh, Earl.
So these two harnesses will be specifically for these two horses, and as they grow, of course, it'll fit them better. But whenever I'm ready to use them again, the harness will be ready to go. So I'm going to do just what I did with Duke. I'm going to take Earl out. I'm sure he's a little bit thirsty, and we'll see how he drinks water with the bit in his mouth. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back. Yep. It'll be a little bit different this time. Oh, he goes right to drinking, no problem. It's going to be a little bit different this time because the other horses are out in the yard. And so I'm curious to see how he will react with other horses right there. Now, like I'd said yesterday, when I hitched him up, he almost went perfect right to start with. So I'm going to give Brenda the lead rope, but I'm going to have her stay back with me and just see if by chance he might take right off by himself and work properly. It's going to be a little bit harder because, like I said, the other horses are out in the yard. And, you know, how he reacts, I don't know. But we will soon find out. Cap step. Cap step. Come on, Earl. Of course, he wants to go to the other horses.
Aaron's trying to crane his neck around and figure out where Earl's going.
Yeah. We'll go around the driveway and then we'll go a little bit closer to the horses and just see how he reacts. Earl's driving really nicely right now. I expect he'll continue, but who knows. I really have more on my plate than I would like with logging and farm work, and to have one horse to train, as in Baron, that's perfectly fine with that. But to have 3, it's a little bit too much for what I would prefer anyways. And that's why, without a doubt, these younger ones will get very little training, but that's okay. It's more important to get Baron going because I want him to be one of my main work horses by next summer, and he'll be doing everything, even some logging, I'm sure. But before he goes logging, he needs to do a lot of farm work to really get him strong and in shape for logging. And even after he starts logging for the first year or 2, it's a slow process to teach him how to pull big loads. So I'm going to drive on the other side of Ken just to see how he reacts and see if I can get him by. You know, so often in this situation he's going to want to go over and stay close to the horses, and I need to be able to keep him moving. Which he did really well. So I'm going to just turn around and head right back. Oh yeah. Huh? Huh? Careful. We'll see how he does this way. We gave him quite a good little workout yesterday. And it shows too as to how well he's doing even today. Come here. Careful. So I'm going to go kind of close to Baron, but I got to be careful and make sure I have control of him. Oh. Oh. This is really good for Baron also because I am driving Earl right close to him, and he has to know sometimes that there'll be other horses that will be driven next to him, and we're not talking to him, we're talking to Earl. Oh. Oh. No. Oh. No. Okay, that's all I'm going to do with Earl today, just because we got so much other stuff we need to get done. So I would say it's going really good with him, and we'll start on the next project. Oh. Nice job. Okay, so now the younger colts already had their little training lesson. My older colt with his new collar, which I think is going to fit nicely. It looks maybe a little large here in some people's opinion, but by the time he actually gets that to fill around his neck, I think that's going to be just about perfect for this stage anyways in his growth. So I believe that would be great. But anyways, I want to leave them standing here for a while still, so they learn to stand good. He learns to stand good. Ken stands very good. And while they're doing that, I'm gonna go saw a log. I've got an interesting log in here, maybe, that I want to share with you. Okay, so here we have a hard maple log. This is an old hard maple log that's been sitting around for a little while. I am hoping that it's going to be spalted. And probably a lot of people don't even know what spalted means. And I'm going to try to explain that to you as we get going on this project, this one log. As you can see, the center here is pretty well rotted and not much good at all. But let's get it on and get it sawed up, and I'll show you what I mean about spalted lumber. Before we do, we need to get rid of these 1x10 boards. These are actually for Abby, our daughter. She is working on a house up the road, and she actually has a YouTube channel about it. And she is making, her and Jay, a friend of hers, is actually making a set of stairs to go into the cellar. The stairs that were there were pretty bad shape, so they're making a new set, and they're coming in from a completely different angle. So it's quite interesting. If you're interested in building old home projects and stuff like that, you might want to go check out her channel. It's a Drill and a Dream. And anyways, these are boards that are going to be for her. So I'm going to take them off, and she's going to do with them what she does. And we'll get going on this maple.
This log needed a little bit of help getting onto the sawmill. So here I'm just looking at the log and see if we were really going to have spalted lumber, and I'll show you it in a second. Generally, we get spalted lumber from a log that's been sitting around for a while. Once in a while, you'll cut a tree and it may be a big rot in it, like this particular log, and it would be spalted right from the start with, but usually it's from sitting around for a while. So this is what it looks like. It has some very interesting looking grain, and there's kind of a fine line between having the nice grain show out like it is from the rotting wood, but also if it goes too far, then it's actually too rotten and it would just fall to pieces. But this wood, what I'm cutting right today, is quite hard and solid, and yet it still has those very interesting grain that's people really like to use for different projects. The first few boards I took off the mill, I was going to edge them on my edger. In other words, take the bark off the edges of the boards. But then I decided, no, I'm just going to keep them like this, and I'll sell them as is, because who knows, people do lots of different things with this type of wood, so they might want the bark on. I love the board return on my sawmill, but sometimes it tends to kind of push it off to the side, and if I'd let that one gone, it would have ended up falling right on the ground, so I have to go around and grab it before it does. This spalted maple has some very interesting grains in the wood. I'm not sure as I've ever seen other types of woods that are spalted. Maybe if you guys know of some, let me know. Tell me in the comments if there's other woods out there that are spalted.
Okay, so there you have it. Quite a bunch of spalted maple. Of course, a bunch of that rest of the log will go into the firewood pile, but we'll still salvage a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got to go put the horses away and or take them around the field one more time. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.